interesting. Me and Jake haven't talked in weeks, like face to face, and the first thing we're talking about is DaVinci Resolve 20.
DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, let's start.
Nah, read us the rest of it. Now you got me curious.
Well, hold on. There's actually a surprising amount of stuff. I'll read the
stuff that looks cool.
Key new features. I'll read that section.
Yeah.
Improved keyframing with dedicated curve view and timeline drawer. I feel like we've seen maybe the curve view, but maybe they fixed it, and I don't know what the timeline drawer is.
That could be nice.
Why is that such a hard word for me to say?
Drawer. Because it's like a drawer.
Drawer. Voiceover tool with record and monitor options. I feel like some of this stuff we already had.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not monitor. Maybe you couldn't monitor as well.
Oh, maybe. Import Blackmagic Cloud shared folders to media pool. I haven't tested any of that.
Oh, that's interesting.
AI IntelliScript creates timeline with provided script. We knew about that one. V2 Paintbrush. We knew about that. So why it says beta 2?
It might just be
I don't know.
Bug fixes.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I need to go. Let me scroll down here. Yeah, this is not helpful. This is all the stuff we already knew about.
Perfect. Well, welcome to this episode. That was us looking at the new DaVinci Resolve. We've been away for... When did you say the last episode was?
2 months, dude.
2 months.
2 months.
So
I feel like you're a ghost. I'm looking at a ghost.
If you're watching this, thank you for clicking this after 2 months of our hiatus.
Where have we been, Spencer? What have we been doing? Do we have a good excuse for the people as to why we haven't been doing this?
I think getting sick, going on trips, working full-time jobs, you know?
Yep. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good
Those are
synopsis.
all valid.
Those are all valid things that have been happening. Yeah.
And also...
Well, and you were even reminding me because when I was gone, there was like a month where we didn't podcast and a month where I didn't even make a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then there was a month
same.
kind of after that where we still didn't podcast. And I've like kind of made a few more videos, but I mean, it's been a slow season for sure in the YouTube world for both of us. Because how many videos have you made since we talked last?
1.
1. Yeah.
And that was Resolve 20 came out, and I was just like, okay, I make vid now. It came out. Yeah, it was a simple screen record. I've been working on a video for since January, and I feel like now even now I say that out loud, I'm like, I've probably put 3 hours in to it.
I was going to ask you, like, you've been working on it for how long, but how many hours? Yeah. Not that many.
I just have the idea. I just don't have fucking time, man.
Dude.
And I'm making a big video. I hope it's going to be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, all about like these old school lenses.
Dude, I can't wait.
And it will be like a guide that I wanted to figure out how to use these, and then also like cool stuff you could do with them.
Sweet.
But then this thing broke. So
no.
Yeah, I couldn't. I brought it to my dad's pretty handy. He's used to be like a contractor and whatever. So we opened it up and like looked at all the electronics and tested it, and everything looked fine. And I'm like, no idea why this won't work anymore. But
damn. Oh, that's such a bummer, dude.
Yeah, that put it on hold. I had to buy another one and like start all over again. It just is not like a. I'm playing a losing game right now.
Yeah, you are. Well, and the piece that you're glossing over, because again, it's been like months. Like, do the people even know what your full-time job is? I mean, we've mentioned it, but like it's seriously ramped up, and that's why. I mean, it's not the only reason. We've both been busy, but that certainly has consumed a lot of your time.
Totally. I also like, I don't know if you guys know this, the people who are listening, but me and Jake are in like totally different time zones. I think we mentioned this here and there, but like it's 11 p.m. for me and it's like 9 p.m. for you.
Yeah, it's super late for you.
Yeah.
I feel awful.
It's just like, well, it's just like we just have to have good nights that like kind of like line up for us properly. So it doesn't happen all the time, especially like Jake being a dad, you know, you have no idea what's going to go on at bedtime. The bedtime routine, like,
dude, the bedtime routine is chaotic right now.
Anytime that we get to chat is like a treat. And then like we always chat like just us, obviously, before we roll. So
we've got some stuff is just for us. Yeah.
You can join our Patreon to get our exclusive 4-hour long chat. Imagine.
We just made Jack Conti so proud.
Oh man. But yeah, like editing, I edit for Maddie Haboya full time right now.
Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's really fun, and but man, it's definitely like keeps you on your toes editing wise, and like won't let me update to Resolve 20 right now, which is funny.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. So he's not letting you do it.
It's because it's in beta, and like we've kind of agreed. I'm just like, I don't know if that would be a good idea right now, but on my personal home computer, I keep installing both of them. Nice. So like when I'm working on his stuff, I install 19, and then it saves all the projects in there. You just can't open them again.
Right.
So if I want to like go work on a Resolve 20 project, I have to go back and reinstall. It's crazy.
That is crazy. I do love that Resolve lets you install basically every version they've ever put out.
Yeah.
Like I think, like I don't like, it's not really that cool, but it's just cool that they're like, yeah, like you can do this. It's a thing we let you do, because you can't do that in Final Cut.
Oh no! Once you update,
it's just it's an app in the App Store, so you have to save off the old version, which is what everyone always tells you to do. Is like zip up the old one, save it off somewhere, and then update it, just in case you need it. And like I should admit this, because like every Final Cut Pro YouTuber on the planet is going to just like be so disappointed with me. I've never done that once. Like anytime a new version of Final Cut comes out, the first thing, and it's so annoying, they all make a point to be like, and don't forget, before you update, because in case there's bugs, zip the old one in your application folder and save it off somewhere in case you need it. And every time I'm just like,
and you're
skip,
like, close.
download. Like, I shouldn't have to do this. And I mean, like, part of that is if there is bugs that like break something, then I'll just go use DaVinci. But
yeah, that's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
I'm better than those people. I can use both.
Hey man, that's weird. That's a point.
Yeah,
take it.
It's a point. No, I'm totally kidding. Dylan Bates, I'm not better than you. I promise.
You're just like living on the edge.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have a lot of skin in the game. I mean, I have the least amount of skin in the game ever right now, because anything I make is strictly for me. I'm trying to think. Yeah, actually, in the 2 months that we weren't editing, I did one client gig for an old high school friend. So it was kind of a buddy thing more than anything. Like he wouldn't let me do it for free, but I was like,
oh, word.
I just want to do this as a friend, you know? Yeah. And so he paid me a little bit, but
yeah. It's always funny in those scenarios, because like when it's a buddy, you're just like, you don't have to pay me. But when like the funny part about it is the thing, like the amount that they think that it costs is vastly different than what it actually costs. Like I've had a few people be like, hey, like, can you cut this like little bit of this? And I'm just like, sure, yeah. Like my default is like, I'll do it for free, because like my day rate's $750. So
right. Yeah. And they're like, wait, what? I thought this would be like $50, dude.
Yeah. Like, can't you do it for $200? I'm like, I can, but like
I could, but I'll just do it for free. Oh, for sure. No, that was the whole game I was playing. Is he was like, well, I have to pay you something, and I was like, okay, what is the lowest, like what could this be that like isn't offensively low to him, but not what I would actually charge.
Not break the bank either.
Yeah.
Man, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So you've been editing for Maddie. You've got like a crazy commute too. So it's kind of like you've got a little bit of a double whammy where you're like super busy and you're commuting a bunch.
Yeah.
Like you are in the trenches right now.
Yeah, I'm in the thick of it. Man, it's been a while, like now that I'm looking at the date, but I still feel like I'm learning the groove of it. And maybe that's just because, like we were talking earlier, I just like don't really have a set schedule, which is like it's just kind of like up to me. So I've been like playing with like going to the gym before work and like how does that work? Is there enough time to do that? And like just to try to like avoid traffic and this and that. And it's a lot of trial and error, and helpful to remember at the end of the day that it's like just a YouTube video.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Have you been going to the gym then?
Yeah, like here and there. I hurt my shoulder a while ago, so I haven't been going for like a week or two, which is
that sucks.
Yeah, not great. But it's almost like summer here right now, which is phenomenal. Good weather
season.
Yeah, skating, biking, all the things outside, and like take a camera outside season again. So I love that.
Yep.
I love myself a good talking head outside, you know?
You do.
Yeah.
You really do.
It's the video.
It makes me happy.
Even if the video has nothing to do with being outside, I'm like, I'm going outside.
Yeah. We're talking about DaVinci Resolve on this hill.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll cut back to screen captures, but I'm talking out here. Yeah.
And besides that, I like briefly told you, but like I just dropped off the hard drive actually today of one short film, and I'm working on another short film. Both at totally different scales of like production. One we shot last, or like I was just a part of it.
You shot?
I didn't shoot it. They had like a great DP. His name is Brad, and it was like a dance film, a narrative piece about dance and like eating disorders and stuff. So my partner was the one who directed it, so we kind of like tag team editing it a bit. So I just dropped it off to like a post house that's doing color on it, and then sound mixing and all the rest. And then that will get submitted to festivals on May 9th.
Dude. Yeah, of course you haven't had time for YouTube. That's crazy cool.
Yeah. And then I will have my own short coming, which like I don't think I'm going to submit to festivals or anything. Just because YouTube.
YouTube, yeah. Like just release it on YouTube, and you never know. Like, could get 3 views, could Wesley Wang it and get like 60 million or I don't know.
Yeah, totally. I don't think it's that crazy of a film, but it's something that like I've been curious about making for a long time, and it's kind of like an ode to like growing up in a suburb, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it. And I just I've missed doing that kind of thing for myself. Like I don't think I've like made films that weren't paid since film school, you know? Like
no.
I wouldn't classify YouTube as that either, because I feel like YouTube you have to be like, today we're doing like, what's the point? You can't just like put out a 2-minute, 10-minute narrative piece. They won't do good.
Well, that's the difference too, is it is narrative, right? Like it's this short film you're making is strictly narrative. It's not like documentary or anything, right? I mean,
no.
Yeah. Like it's a legit short film. Like someone out there is going to get butthurt that we're like trying to split these, but like there's a box here if you want to look at it from a certain perspective. And I get what you're saying. Where like a YouTube video is not a short film. Is that always the case? No, but like
Yeah.
generally speaking, they're two different things. And like, sorry if that makes you mad.
Yeah.
I also probably understand where you're coming from. You know, like,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all like such different boxes. It was so funny. It's so funny, like working on Maddie's stuff and then like coming home and like getting feedback on a scene and like having to go in and like cut dialogue and stuff. And I'm just like, this is so different. Like I cut a 20-minute video today at the office, and I'll like come home and be like moving like just frames around to be like, does that sound better? Does this sound better? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool though, dude. That's like movie editing. I mean, it is. It's movie editing.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
Yeah. So funny. I always thought like before I went to film school, I was like, I'm going to be a feature editor. Like I'd be a commercial editor. I'd be a feature editor. Like that'd be so sick. Yep. Literally the day I walked out of film school, I was like, not a fucking chance am I going to be doing that. I'm sorry. I have to sit there for months and edit one project.
Yeah.
And then I went to a couple studios, interned, and I remember so vividly, I was trying to get a job as like a junior editor. Yeah. And at that point I had been freelancing for a while and I was just looking for a switch up, and she was like, "You're great. I don't think you belong here." Like, I don't think you realize that. I was at commercial post house, and she's like, I don't think you realize that, like, we don't like you edit, like you push the buttons.
Yeah.
But like, you don't get to be creative here. Like,
No,
you solve problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just really nice that she leveled with me and like also didn't like belittle me, but I was just like, yeah, I know that. Like, I guess I don't belong here, and I'll probably hate myself. But every editing gig that I've ever done since then, I just feel like she put it like in such a good framing of just like, you're just problem solving. Unless it's your own video, like you're not really being creative.
No.
Maybe that is like such a jaded statement, because like client videos are still inherently creative. Like, even when I'm cutting every day, I'm still trying to be creative, but it's like, it's prescriptive of just like, here's what I think this person wants of the box.
Well, there's just so much more. And again, I'm not speaking from experience, but like from stuff I've watched and talking to you right now. I mean, there is so much more structure, organization, planning that goes into that type of editing, to where you're doing very small creative decisions, but like the bumpers are so established that like you're not really, she's right, you're not really being that creative. And that's because the creative person is like the writer, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
so fair. Yeah. The story,
and that's fine.
Your job is to copy the storyboard. And if something doesn't work, then that's where you fix it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, there's going to be times where that doesn't work, but if it's done well, you shouldn't really have to do that often.
Yeah. Right. They give you the 8 puzzle pieces and you put the 8 puzzle pieces in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to anybody who's like in the commercial world. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at all. Like, you're still highly valued, highly skilled. Like,
yeah. No, it's not a like skill thing. It's a completely different. I mean, it's even like we were talking earlier, like the freelance versus like corporate. Yeah. Like, it doesn't, I think there's this perception that like, oh, this one's so much better than this one. And it's like, no, they're just different. Like,
yeah,
you can work really hard in both. It's just a different wheelhouse. And it's the same thing with editing a feature. It's like, okay, yeah, there's certain things you're not having to do as much, but it's still a lot of work. I mean, like you said, it's like editing a movie for months honestly does sound awful.
Yeah.
Like, because I struggle to put together a 10-minute video before I get sick of it. You know?
Yeah, for real. Honestly.
And there's people that love doing that. And no shade, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. Like, that's just not, I don't think you and I want to do that. And that's fine.
Yeah. 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 I'm thankful that something like clicked in me to be like, oh, I actually don't think that's where my passion is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one's gonna pay me like actual money to make like 2006 skateboarding montages. So
No,
not yet,
not
anyways.
anymore. Yeah, not yet. Not yet, or not anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen? Do you know Nigel started like a skate account, like a skate burner account?
He said he did, and I couldn't find it. So you found it?
Yeah, it's his name backwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
clever.
But I'm like, I'm so curious to see like how it's gonna progress because he's like he keeps up with it.
Really?
Yeah, he's like putting, and they're like really lo-fi, as they should be, like low lifts.
Yeah.
And it's just like he just laughs himself. He puts like a camcorder like at some part in the park, and he'll just like talk you through the session of just like.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what's up, man. That's
Dude,
it. Someone's
that
gonna
is
get
what's
paid
up.
for the skate montages.
For sure. Holy crap. I need to go find this because last time he mentioned it, maybe he's revealed that since. I don't know. I feel like he said he was going to keep it a secret unless you figured it out.
Yeah.
How did you figure it out?
Well, I just asked him.
Okay.
Incessantly.
Incessantly. Okay. So you were, because I think I may have asked him and he was like, no. So you were more persistent.
Yeah,
than
I pestered him a bit.
Good. I'm glad you did. Okay. Good.
I do think that there's something to that. I was watching Evil Schaefer the other day.
Yeah.
That video I dropped in our group chat. That's like, I think there is something like a little bit magical about like just watching somebody do something and talk.
For sure.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, why is that?
It's like it hits both parts of the brain. That's just like you get to watch them do something, and you also get to watch them like talk about something that you like, and you're just like, oh yeah. It's probably why makeup like get readies with me like absolutely slap.
True. That's the exact same concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch those, but that would make complete sense.
Yeah.
Dang.
Frick.
Yeah. No, I watched that video. I love that video. I thought that was great.
What's on the like horizon for you? Like where's your mind at in our coming back from our hiatus? Even though that like I'm calling it our hiatus, even though I've realized that you've posted a handful of videos and got some videos in the bank. Like you're loading the shotgun right now.
I mean, well, yeah, like we said earlier, there was definitely that first month where I was just like, there's nothing, dude. I got nothing. I don't want to make anything. I can't. And a lot of travel. And that month I was sick a lot. I forgot about that. You were right. I was sick all the fucking time that month.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who don't know, when you're sick, you don't want to be creative ever. Like, it's kind of the worst because it feels like a time where you like want to like sit down and write, but like even that, it's like, no, I just want to watch movies and sleep.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was rough. And then really like what like kind of bursted the bubble was, or whatever metaphor, was a new Final Cut version, a new Resolve version, pretty close.
Yeah.
Where I was like, shit, I kind of want to talk about this stuff. And we said it offline. It kind of feels like you're chasing the shiny new toy thing where like, I don't know how like fulfilling it is, but also like, I'm really interested in these new things and I want to make videos about them. So I don't know. We'll ride this little shiny new toy wave for a minute, I guess.
Yeah. I do think it's like, there is something to that. If you can realize that you're doing that, and maybe that's just like my own self-reflection of like making it okay, because I'm thinking about like buying a new lens because that's just like a shiny new like toy, and like kind of what I've done here as well.
Yeah.
It's a kind of like another side tangent, but at the same time, it's just like, well, if it gets you doing the thing, what's so bad about it? And it's just like, well, you know, there's two sides to that coin of like, well, no, like go for it if it makes you creative. But on the other side, it's like, well, you can only be creative if you have a shiny new toy in your hand. Like,
right. Yeah. It's not sustainable.
No,
but it's
totally.
But it's a fun technique to lean into when it happens, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, like, if you catch yourself doing it or about to do it, is there like ways to use that as momentum? To be like, okay, I'm going to do this thing about Resolve 20. It's going to be easy. I'm freaking pumped on it.
Yeah.
It's in the wave. Like, and I guess I would classify the wave as like, there's not that many things that you can, you know, like if I'm making a video about a lens,
wave.
Yeah, it's a finite wave. It's like, can I transfer that momentum after that to be like, okay, what comes after that? How do I ride that high?
Yeah. No, I think it's a great question. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because
somebody write that down.
Someone write that down and someone like think about it. Cause well, and that's the thing, right? Is cause like in that first month, I remember thinking like, I can't make a video about editing right now. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not feeling it. But then this stuff comes up and it's like, well, some of this stuff is pretty interesting and I want to talk about it.
Yeah, it gets undeniable.
It was a juicy update. There's a lot to talk about.
Super
and
juicy.
A lot of it is stuff we've talked about for months, years, however long. Like, I mean, it's
also like
definitely exciting.
I think when you have an opinion on it, I think that's when it becomes interesting on my take. So like for you're somebody who often has like a firm opinion on something, and you'll like walk through like, okay, is this actually useful though? Like have an opinion, then with the follow through. And I like that sort of take. And I think specifically with Resolve 20, like it gave you a lot of opportunities to be like, you want to have an opinion?
Yeah. Hey, what do you think about this? There's
because
lots of
like,
stuff.
Because just saying, here's this lens.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
exactly.
But like, is it good? Is it bad? Like, what situation would you use it for? You know, I think the AI multicam cut thing was a good take on that, to be like, okay, let's start deep diving to like,
for sure,
is this shit worth it? Should we care?
Well, and like, and I don't know if I structured it as perfectly as I wanted to, but I wanted to hook people with the podcast idea.
Yeah.
But the real thing that interested me was like, well, I think there's other use cases for this, which was the last test of like a multicam in the shed. Like, could this actually save a lot of time?
Yeah.
And
which I think
great.
is far more interesting, honestly. Like,
yeah.
With just the experience that I've done over my course of editing, of just like, dude, there's so many times that you're running a multicam on like a top down and like a thing. Like, I just did it for the Insta360 video of like, a lot of that was synced, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm not going to sync it. I'll just choose the points that I want.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like that was really cool. And I'm trying to think of some of the other things. Like, it's just fun again to like try these things. And I think you're the same way, where it's like, I always make a surface level video of here's what I'm excited about. But then it's like, but what, you know, I don't want to be one of those creators that's just like, well, here it is. It's like, no. Like, what is this? Because like a great example is, as I said, I was excited about, or did I or did I not? Like the beat detector that they added.
Yeah, you
and
talked
I thought,
to me
like,
about that, yeah.
Cool, but I bet I'm not gonna like make a video about it. But after using it, I'm like, I kind of feel like there's a video here because A, it's super accessible. It's a right click and a button. I bet you could even make a hotkey for it, and it's fast. And there's snapping, which is killer, and it makes, you know, you and I do this all the time. You got to end a song early. You want to go find that beat at the end that does the nice little cut drop.
Yeah.
And you just line up those hash marks. Like it wasn't that hard before to do, but it's just that much easier now because you have these visual things to just go fade, done. And it's like, wait, I didn't have to listen to that at all. It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to do that anymore now that they have the music retimer.
Also true, which I need to test more. Have you tested it?
I tested it, yeah.
I tested it on like one thing and like it works.
It's great. Yeah. No, that like to me, that shouldn't be any problem for them. Adobe's been doing that for like 5 years. So like
for like forever.
That's for me, I'm like, fuck yes. Like thank God I don't have to touch music anymore because like having that tool and then getting it taken away from you is crazy.
I know. I was going to say, you had been talking about that one for forever. You're like, dude, I just need this feature and it shouldn't be that hard.
So if you were to do a video of like the new way to edit music and like incorporate all these things, because that's to me, I think that it genuinely will change how I edit music now. Thank God. Like
thank God.
Like it should have been like that before, but you know, we're here. So I would retime my music first, then add all these beats. And then use the loudness, the new audio mixing feature that they added. It's not bad.
Yeah, that thing is also cool.
Yeah. That I think is going to be like my new workflow of just like
and that's super
touching.
Clean.
Yeah.
Super clean, super fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is like maybe that's kind of the summary I'm feeling on this feature is like, I've always kind of been on that fence of, okay, Resolve has lots of cool tools, but Final Cut is faster. But like the things that we got in 20, I feel like are super helpful in eclipsing that gap where it's like you have all the tools to like really go faster. You don't have to cut podcasts anymore. You can mix your audio with the click of a button. You can have your music be the length that you want it to be. Like there's just a bunch of these things that it's like these are insane tools that legitimately improve your overall workflow by a substantial amount if you're using them and know how to use them.
Yeah, totally.
Which is cool, man. And that's why it's like I want to make videos about it because I'm just like genuinely like, okay, 19 was cool, but I feel like I'm way more excited for 20 than I was when 19 dropped.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what the 19 features were.
I think they just had like flashy, like, oh, okay, Magic Mask is better. Or, we have
Magic
depth
Mask.
mapping and whatever else. Like, I don't even know if those are right, but I just remember it being
voice
like
isolation.
Like big features. No, I was 18.
Was that 18?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just remember it was like bigger features and it was like, cool.
Yeah, I remember feeling pretty underwhelmed. Whereas this one, I'm just like, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff that'll affect you on the day-to-day basis. I don't think, like, the other updates were cool last year, but just nothing that would affect me directly every single day. And all those tools will.
Yeah. Dude, do you want to hear a I don't even know if I want to confess this. I got to confess this to you.
Okay.
So, because I come from Final...
Should we beep it out of the pod?
No, it's an editing confession. It's hilarious. And I don't mind people judging me for being a terrible editor. So, but it's interesting because I come from Final Cut. I always had snapping turned on in Resolve.
Okay.
If you turn that off and you're a good editor, it's like pretty incredible how much friction that removes for certain circumstances. Do you feel that way?
Like, yes.
When I was doing L&J cut stuff, I was just like, why have I always left snapping on? Because it's always going to try to like bump it just a little bit.
Yeah.
and I want it. I know exactly where I want it. And I was like sliding stuff around, and I was just like, I've never thought to play with this because I just assumed this is the best way to edit, and it's not for certain circumstances.
Yeah, it is annoying because it is only certain circumstances, but yeah, that in like snapping and linking are the things that I'm like constantly being like, oh, okay, like
you gotta have hotkeys for those.
Yeah, hitting the hotkeys to because for music especially, like snapping. Just lining up, I'm like, I can see where it needs to be, and it's like, it needs to either be here, and it's snapping here, or here, or here, or here. Like,
and you're just like, stop! I want it right in between. Yeah. I just like literally had never really done that before, because in Final Cut everything is snapping. Like,
how do you get around a situation like that though, when you can see, like, the gap is too big and you want it just in the middle?
So it doesn't really snap for music in the same way.
Interesting. It just knows.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to pull it up and really play with it. But like, I remember thinking because everything is linked off of that main magnetic timeline.
Yeah.
It snaps, but it also is smart enough to. Yeah, I feel like it behaves differently for audio, where it's like, wait a sec, I can tell you're trying to do something precise. I'm not going to try and snap right now. I'll have to play with that to confirm that suspicion, but...
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
Very interesting. I'm also happy that they added the vertical stuff. That's been
I know.
So crazy.
Dude, that's a whole video in and of itself, because vertical, animated subtitles, what else? Like, basically, there's no argument to use CapCut anymore, which, I mean, it's been a minute since I've used CapCut, but, like, Resolve has everything now.
Yeah, they really are like, dude, they should, you know what? They were at NAB, so.
They were.
I wonder if they were, I actually, they were doing Resolve demos, so.
Yeah. But
there's still should be like an NLE conference or some shit. That's just like Adobe Final Cut and Resolve being like, well, what do you got?
Yeah, well, what do you got? Here's what we got. Oh, man.
And it's just all these like nerds in a room, and we're all just like fighting to be like, no, Resolve is better. And we're all just like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, imagine a room where like you, me, the Patricks, Alex, and then like all of the Final Cut dudes are in the same, like it would be amazing to just like watch those nerds all interact.
Yeah, it'd be so fucking chaos.
You're like, oh, you're that dude that only does Final Cut, and like the Premiere guy chimes in like, what a bunch of fucking losers.
All the Premiere guys are like all the hipsters.
Yeah. I get that comment like regularly, probably once a week, where someone's just like, Premiere's not as bad as you make it out to be. I'm like, I know, dude. I've never used it. Like, don't trust me. I'm going completely off what my boy tells me. Yeah.
You know what? I edited something in it yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it always just feels now when I open it like a 1993 like Toyota Corolla. Yeah. It's just like I'm like, why do I have to click so many times to do things?
Downshifting, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. And because I've just like updated my computer so many times, I guess, or the actual software without using it, like all my hotkeys have like disappeared for some reason. So I'm like pressing random buttons. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this in Premiere? Like the A for Premiere is V. So there's like so many different things that I'm just like, what the frick am I doing?
That's annoying. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Yeah. No, I don't. Well, and like, did you, okay, this is like another interesting topic. Like everyone was like kind of losing their mind because Grant like kind of was feeling out if we would pay for the yearly update. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Like, I have no problem with that. Like, that's still so much better than what Adobe's doing, because at least you're getting something and you don't have to, right?
Totally agree.
Like, I don't want them to do it, of course, because I don't want to pay more money. But like, if they did, I wouldn't even like, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. It's just like, when you do break it down, it seems a little flawed, but like to be like, okay, well, we need to continue working on the software, but if we had every editor switch to Resolve,
we're fucked.
There's no more money to be made.
They're sitting there going like, we can't sell our cameras, so we got to come up with some kind of money-making solution.
Yeah. My thing is like, they just really need to, and I'm sure they are, like, really focus and hone in on the cloud stuff, because that is where the subscription fees, like, I pay a subscription fee for that and I barely use it. Like,
right.
Especially because I'm like not really freelancing anymore, but I have all my freelance projects on that because I work with other editors. So like, raise those prices, or like make that your SaaS model, and like leave Resolve alone. Or whatever. Exactly what you said. I wouldn't hate that, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like, I don't want them to, and I feel like there should be other avenues like you're describing. But if they did, like, I wouldn't not use it, or I wouldn't even go out and I don't even think I'd make a negative video. I'd just be like, is this ideal? No, but like, if this is literally the best business model they can come up with to keep giving us value, like, okay.
It's how a ton of software works, actually. Like,
it's how it used to work.
Yeah.
We used to buy Premiere 6, and then you'd get it for that year.
Yeah.
And then you'd sit around and wait for the next year and go, oh, cool stuff. Do I want that? Yeah. My mom's not going to buy it for me, so I guess I'm still using the old one, and it still works.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know if I would update every year depending on what they would release, you know?
Yeah.
Or how often they released it.
Yeah. Version 19, I might not have paid for. Version 20, I'd have paid for.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. So,
for sure.
Which is tough, because then they're really going to be focused on like, how much juice do we put in each version, but maybe it doesn't have to be yearly. And I don't know. I'm with you. It feels like there should be other business models they can come up with so that they can keep the momentum going. But like, I guess we'll see what they do. But
I think there is. I also like, make us a better keyboard. You know what I mean? Sell us the keyboard.
If they made a new keyboard, I would buy it immediately.
Like, make it thinner, guys.
Thinner, and give me like wheels on both sides.
Yeah,
like, get crazy with it.
When I was talking to the Blackmagic rep, they're like, "Oh yeah, like we get that feedback a lot." I'm like, "Then do it.
Then do it." Oh, that's like, weird. A lot of people then go do something about it.
Because we were talking about like, I was like, yeah, like the new micro panel is like a perfect jumping off point to like mimic a new keyboard. And they're like, yeah. Like, I'm like, so is it coming, or like?
So
yeah, because I'm like, I had that thing on my desk for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, I hate this.
Oh yeah. Wait, the speed editor or the full keyboard?
The full keyboard. That's how I got my Resolve license.
The full keyboard's a monstrosity.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, it's also way too high, and it's way too clicky for my personal liking. The only cool thing was the little wheel. And I'm like, I'm not buying a speed editor for the wheel. No.
Yeah. I mean, I did that, but I wouldn't recommend it. I don't use it.
Yeah. It's freaking stupid.
It's stupid.
That's my hot take for this episode. We got, like always, too far in the weeds on Resolve.
We did. We have to, dude. A new version came out. We got to get in the weeds a little bit. I don't even think we like touched on. So you're not using it for work. You're using it for personal stuff. Like, what has bubbled to the top? You made a video about the keyframe stuff and how it's shit. And I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's
I
my
mean, that's
other hot
bubble to the
take.
top in terms of like excitement and letdown. Is there what's been like your favorite one to use so far?
The music thing, for sure.
Yeah.
Music thing. I haven't really tried. You know what? I'll say I'm really excited that they added the VO thing in, because
Yes.
it was a fucking pain in the ass to make a
Oh,
VO.
It was awful.
Like,
It was awful.
too many clicks.
I would not be lying to you if I admitted that multiple times I had to look up
Me
how
too.
to do it, because
Me
I would like
too.
be like, oh, I want a quick VO here. And I'm like, wait, how the shit do you do it again? I know it's hard and I can't remember where to go.
Dude,
and
me
I'd like
fucking
get
too.
super close, and then I'm like, okay, I think the mic is plugged in. And I'm like, why is there the meters aren't going? What's
Dude.
going on?
Yes, exactly. I'm like, no, my input is in the right thing. It's patched to the thing. I have no levels. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna record on my phone.
Yeah, on my phone, or like, oh, let me pull up Logic and I'll just do it there. Yeah,
dude, that was
yeah.
so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I
No,
haven't really
that
tried
is
much
nice.
else other than those like simple things.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
I'm an edit page guy through and through, you know?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Me too.
But yeah, I haven't
Me
even
too.
like looked at the fusion effects. I don't do any keyframing in Fusion. I just think overall keyframing in Resolve sucks. So,
It does.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll say like visually now it's going to be a lot better. Like,
Yeah.
I think what they did, only strictly talking about like visual cues, is leaps and bounds from what they had previously. I don't
Yeah.
think that it will be as helpful to do curves and stuff. I think it'll be, I honestly think you can ease in and out, and you could do that before.
Yeah.
The only thing
And you
that's
could do that
changed
before.
is that you can actually see what the fuck you're doing now.
And it still is not doing what I feel like it should be doing.
Yeah. Well,
like,
at least
okay,
you
I'm
can see
seeing
where
it.
the keyframes are. For me, that
Yeah.
was the biggest thing of just like, I want to see them at all times.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that strip, that thing I texted you about where you can see it underneath lined
yeah.
up with your timeline,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I didn't like it.
Oh, I feel like spatially it's kind of nice to just like be like, oh, okay, here's where this is. That's fair. You know?
Yes. But you know why I didn't like it? Is because you had to toggle off things to toggle on that view. So if I have
Oh, yes.
a timeline with
Yes.
tabs on it or whatever you call that, it
Yep.
won't allow you to do that.
Yeah, and
So-
I'm still confused why that is.
Yeah, me too.
Uh-oh. If you go to another timeline, it's not smart enough to look at the keyframes. It's like,
Yeah.
why?
Maybe that'll just get like implemented in a later version.
Yeah, it feels half-baked for sure. It feels
Yeah.
very beta,
Yeah, definitely.
because I don't understand why that would stick like that. But
Yeah. What about you? Do you have anything? You want to take us home on this?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you asked about the longevity, which I feel like I want to ask, the same question back to you. And I feel like we went off on a tangent because basically we were like, well, we weren't fired up and now we're a little more fired up. But like, you're right. When this wave dies, what are we feeling? You know, I guess it's
Yeah.
going to be sunnier. We're going to get outside more probably. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair point. Fair point.
I'm just not sure that I care that much. Like, I'm sure I'll be dinging around and doing stuff. But like, yeah, when the hype dies, like maybe it is just kind of less. I don't know. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Because like we talked about last time, like I wake up in the morning and I do my writing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I work out. Like there's just a couple other things that I'm like really into right now. And
Nice.
they're not YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, which is fine. Life still
Which
goes
is fine.
on.
And I'd rather just talk to you half the time instead of work on videos at night.
Yeah. One
But-
I remember chatting with this one artist. He's like an illustrator. And I was like talking to him about creativity and like how does he get out of burnout and like that sort of like talk about it of like how does he like keep pushing forward? And he was just like, oh dude, simple. I just like don't make stuff when I don't feel like it. Like if I don't feel creativity, like I don't push myself to come up something new on like Procreate or something like that. I'm like,
right.
Wait, you just don't, but it's your job.
Yeah,
like, how do
it's your job.
And he was just like, yeah, but I'm not feeling it. So I just don't push it. Yeah. And then, you know, I do the things that make me feel it. And eventually it comes around. And like literally that was years ago that it was like, it like exploded in my brain talking to him because he was just like, it was so simple. He's like, yeah, just don't make stuff. I'm like, but it's not the way it works.
Dude, I feel like that is like a plane of maturity that I'm maybe like starting to like enter, but like up till now has been like inconceivable. Like I could not, like I hear those words that he's so saying relatable. And I go, yeah, that makes sense. But then like in practice, it's like, I can't do that. I don't know. Like I immediately feel like a loser if I can't come up with something creative. And he's over here just being like, be a loser. Who cares? Like, go skate, man. I bet you'll think of something cool while you're skating.
Yeah, literally. It's just like...
Go touch grass.
Yeah, like I honestly think that like we've joked about that for so long, but I just do think that that's like, it's actually just not optional.
No, it's not. Like, I feel like that's what causes burnout, is if you're not touching grass.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, maybe this, you can relate or riff off this from like when you're writing in the morning, but like when you're done the sentence and you don't have another sentence to continue, you put the pen down.
Yeah.
You know, you don't continue to be like, to force it when you're writing an idea. I mean, unless you're on a time, like you're like, I want to write for 50 minutes. But like in general, when you're writing a story and you end the sentence and you say, that's all I have to say, you put the pen down.
For sure.
But
no, and I think I've thought about this so much the last couple of months where I feel like I'm sure everyone has their own definition of it, but I feel like being a true artist is listening to yourself and only doing it when you're feeling it, and being someone who's creative, or I don't know, I don't even know what the other word is, but everyone else who has to do it because of timelines and money, it's like not true art.
Yeah. But as a societal,
I'm sure
like because of social media and like where we are as a society, this feels woo woo to pull this thought, but like I think like I think we're convinced that is real art now, is what I'm getting at.
Social media.
Well, just the fact that like the on the timeline thing that you said, like people look at just the mass population of what's going on for these content creators and artists and everybody on Instagram and YouTube, and like just society in general of like how fast we push out fashion and commercials, and it's just like, oh no, like I should be like coming up with ideas and being creative all the time, and it's just like, but what you're saying is like, nah, like an artist will like, they have like crazy schedules, they get really creative, and then that's it. They don't do anything for like a week until they like hear that whisper again, and they're just like, oh, let me go over here and nurture the little idea.
Yeah. Until they feel the itch, they're like, no, it's not on. It's not on. So we're not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and I feel like I'm sure someone is getting mad with what I said, and I tend to agree. Like, it's hard to make it black and white, but like I think there's some truth there. There's a thread there that we're pulling at, that you and I have both felt, experienced, and seen, where it's like true art is from within yourself.
Yeah.
And that's inspired by things happening in your life, but it's created from within, and it's not created from external pressure, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's it's hard to like not get caught up in the like once you get on the train.
Yeah. And I say all of that, and I'm sitting here going like, Dune 2 was true art, and there was 1,000 fucking deadlines, I'm sure, to make that movie.
Yeah, but I think there's a separate thing to be like, well, once you have the piece of art, you know,
yeah.
like, I think that's actually a really good point of just like for instance, it's not art, but like the idea of getting jazzed is the thing that I'm holding on to, of just like when you have that spark of just like, ooh, I'm kind of giddy to do something, like that is the time to give it legs of deadlines and put action to it, or else I think there is that sort of like it can just float away, you know?
Yeah.
And then somebody else will make Dune 2.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be not what you want it to be.
Yeah, and they'll call it Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, man, that was a good little thought. I feel like to end on right there. And we got to do this again more often. Hopefully, we'll try and be better people. We appreciate you. Hopefully, listening back in. Probably confused to see us again, feeling like maybe we're just done. But
hey, if this is your first episode, hit the like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So
if you're here because we inevitably titled this something around DaVinci Resolve 20, like. Welcome.
Yeah.
As you can tell, there's not a lot of structure here, and we love editing and talking editing, and we go all over the place.
So yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Thanks for coming. Bye-bye now.